Listen up. Would it be wise to imagine that a social movement, the causes which lie so far back, can be checked by the efforts of one generation? Can it be believed that the democracy which has overthrown the feudal system and vanquished kings will retreat before tradesmen and capitalists? Will it stop now that it has grown so strong and its adversaries so weak? Alexis de Tocqueville, 1830. There's a caveat in this instance, I believe. In this age, the cause for liberty is not being fought for by one generation, but a menagerie of heritages and lifestyles in the great cultural hodgepodge that is America. Whatever happened to a universal of understanding by all, of liberty for all? For example, discrimination in America based on sexuality, war in a large overseas footprint that has caused religious tensions here at home and continued death on a massive scale in the Middle East, contraception and religion being debated at the federal level. There's a rift being torn between the social classes, the major religions, and the political parties. One that, if allowed to continue unchecked, will destroy the efforts and undermine the sacrifices of every red-blooded American since the inception of our great nation. The government has cost America the ethical high ground, and it is up to the people of the United States to take back their country and restore the moral benevolence upon which the country was founded. As citizens, we have that duty to ourselves and to the cause of liberty, even a duty to those who haven't realized yet that we fight for them as well. There are alarming events taking place in our country. The rights endowed to us by our Creator, the protection from an oppressive government, and the very laws that are intended to forever protect America and her citizens are systematically being dismantled by the highest offices of the government, exceeding their constitutional authority. Greed, the lust for power, insider advantage, and unlimited funding has given those who are a slave to money the means to further their own agendas at America's expense, and given rise to power-hungry puppets who consider the Constitution a piece of paper, and liberty nothing but a novel idea. Not only should we, the consumers, have the power to decide which businesses succeed and fail, but our voice should be considered just as meaningful as those with millions of dollars to spend on their personal political lackeys. Democrat or Republican, establishment candidates are one and the same, and we will not tolerate the greater or lesser of two evils anymore. The day of warmongering and political malfeasance are over. The theft of the fruits of our labor and the invasion of privacy is destined to become a thing of the past. Just another dark page in the history of America, transformed by the voice of reason and the actions of we, the people. The years I spent in two different wars, side by side with my fellow warriors, gave me a personal perspective as to the consequences of war, not only on my fellow soldiers and their families, but the suffering endured by civilians in a war zone, often through no fault of their own. The premise with other presidential candidates is, since we have such a powerful military, we should use it as a political tool, while our brothers and sons and daughters are the cannon fodder as a result. Men that deferred answering the call of duty during the Vietnam conflict want to send our patriots to fight in a war of aggression again, using the same script as before with Iraq. Those who wear the uniform and bleed for America overwhelmingly support Dr. Ron Paul, a veteran who answered the call to arms and will not allow our nation's great military to be used in a way that goes against the very principles upon which we chose to serve. The sacrifices of those who did not return will forever fuel the raging fire in our souls to protect and defend the Constitution. We've protected America from foreign enemies. Now we address the threats from within. We must embrace the differences that separate us, if only to win the right to be left alone. Imagine the world a day after people not only fought for what they believed in, but for what others believe in as well, if for no other purpose than to ensure someone has the choice. Part of being an American is personal responsibility. As a free individual, you are entitled to make decisions that affect every aspect of your life, and either enjoy or endure the consequences of those decisions. There is another aspect of personal responsibility, in that there may come a time when Americans are forced to defend their right to choose, when we as a nation must retaliate against our failed government with the logic and reason in action. We the people can no longer allow the government to view our freedoms, privacy, and peace as disposable in the name of security. Morality, consistency, tolerance, liberty. Our convictions are more powerful than any weapon the government has in its arsenal, for you cannot kill an idea, especially one whose time has come. Join me and Veterans for Ron Paul in Tampa, Florida, for the Ron Paul is the choice of the troops march on the Republican National Convention, where over 13,000, you hear me, 13,000 active duty military veterans and supporters will be heard. Show your support for the troops by supporting their choice for Commander-in-Chief. I'm retired Staff Sergeant Reese Williams, formerly of the 10th Mountain Division Light Infantry, and I wholeheartedly endorse Dr. Ron Paul for President of the United States of America. To my fellow warriors, to the top and climb to glory. To the GOP establishment and Barack Obama, pack your bag, boys, you're going home. To my fellow Americans, my fellow patriots, welcome to the revolution.